The Honda Super Blackbird, everybody, welcome back to another video on this wicked motorcycle. Now today I'm on my way to work and we're going to be discussing what is it exactly that makes riders so happy. And that's actually a more complicated question than I think it sounds from the offset. So today I'm going to give it my best shot at answering. Let's jump on and let's go. So everyone, why do motorcycles make riders so happy? What makes a rider happy about bikes, or what makes them enjoy motorcycles? Each rider is different. Some riders like to ride quickly, some riders like to cruise, some riders like to do their off-road thing, some riders, they like to do a bit of camping, you know, and there are all these different types of motorcycles that fulfill all those different types of, well, hobbies, I guess. You know, you've got the motorcycle riding hobby as a whole, and then you've got all the subcategories of the hobby underneath. Yeah, so I'm going to be speaking on the whole, I think, today. I'm going to be kind of talking about the hobby in its entirety. Oh, there's a bird in the road and it's just stuck there. It probably got hit by another car already and now it can't move anywhere, the poor thing. Alright. So that's the thing, you guys. There's lots and lots of aspects of motorcycle riding that people would find enjoyable. A lot of people, they enjoy the community and taking part in rider meets or group rides and, you know, just anything social to do with bikes. For some people, that is the most important part of the hobby. But in terms of the actual riding, I can only speak for myself here, but this is such an open-ended question. I mean, I enjoy motorcycles for the ride. As simple as that might sound. I mean, like, for me, I'm riding to work today. This isn't one of those things that just gets me to work quicker than any other way. I thoroughly enjoy going on a motorcycle to work. It's just one of those things that really helps me mentally. It gives me that therapy before I go into quite a stressful work environment. And then of course on the way back, I mean, I get home even quicker than I do when I'm going to work. But that's because I want to get home, but a motorcycle gives me that option. As quickly as I want to get home, it can basically get me there in that time. But the actual riding experience, I mean, look, you guys, we're on this old 2002 Blackbird, and it's such a fun bike. Yeah, she's big, yeah, she's bulky, but she's a hell of a lot of fun, genuinely. This is a really, really good motorcycle, and most bikes, if not all bikes, are made with fun factor in mind. All bikes. Let's see, how am I going to get through here? Let's go down this way. There we go. See, look at that. Look at that. As if by magic, eh? God, I love this bike. And that's the thing, you guys, every single time whenever I'm shooting a video, you'll probably hear me go, oh, I love this bike. Because I do, I genuinely just love riding bikes. There's just so many things about them that just put a smile on my face. And it's not just the power, it's not just the performance. I mean, you could make that mistake, you know, looking at this bike here and thinking, oh, well, that's the main reason why you're enjoying the ride. It's because of the speed, it's because of the power, it's because of the performance. And to be honest, you guys, I can have just as much fun on a smaller bike than I can on this. Yeah, I love the torque, the horsepower, I love all that. But I can have just as much fun on my FZ6, on my wife's Ninja 125. I mean, okay, the 125, that's a little bit different because it's just lacking, you know? It's just lacking a little bit. But on an A2 motorcycle, like a Z400 or an R3, those bikes are still fun as hell, man. Genuinely. Alright, what are you doing? God. People, I don't know why they get stuck thinking like, oh, what should I do? What should I do? Yeah, they're closing off a lane. Get to the end of the road where the lanes are merging. Honestly. See, even these people. Right, what are you doing? You're going to block me from getting through, are you? Is that the plan here? Because you know that's not going to happen. You know I'm going to get past you anyway. This always happens up here, man. Always. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, as much as powerful bikes are really fun, at the same time there are quite a few powerful bikes out there that aren't as fun as others, and you probably actually have more fun on a smaller bike in some of those instances than you would on a more powerful one. So it does swing in roundabouts, you guys. I mean, but it goes back to that whole thing of what do you enjoy as an individual? And I mean, I can't answer that for you. That's a journey that every rider has to go through themselves. They have to figure out what kind of bikes they enjoy riding and what types of experiences they prefer. You know, do you prefer a sport-like riding experience? Do you prefer more sport touring, more relaxed? Do you prefer more like adventure bike, or have you cruising? You know, that's just one of those questions that I can't answer for you. I like sport motorcycles. I like sport tourers. I say that like every type of motorcycle I've ridden, I've enjoyed thoroughly. So there isn't any particular type of bike that I'm like, nah, that's boring. I don't like that. I don't like riding that so much. But you know, there are individual motorcycles that I'd probably be like, no, I prefer this one over that, and that's just the way it goes. You know, everyone has their preference on motorcycles. Some of you will end up being so-called brand whores, where you'll only buy a certain type of brand. You know, and that's all right as well, I suppose, if you want to. But don't be afraid ever to broaden your horizons when it comes to bikes, you guys. You might be surprised at how good a different motorcycle brand is. Like, as much as I love Kawasaki bikes, and I've never ridden a boring Kawasaki, after riding bikes like the Blackbird, after riding bikes like my Triumph Daytona 955i, and my gosh, you know, my CBR 600RR from Honda, I'm just like, okay, anything Japanese, I'll take it, you know? But even now, like before, I would never have considered a European motorcycle, never. I was always about those Japanese brands. Over the past few years, I've seen why people enjoy riding Triumphs, Aprilias, Ducatis, BMWs, even though they're not necessarily the most reliable bikes in the world or the most reliable brands in the world. It doesn't really matter. I mean, if you ride that bike on the weekends just to have fun, it doesn't matter how reliable or unreliable that bike is going to be, you're going to get that enjoyment factor. And that is the most important thing, isn't it? If a bike is fun, it doesn't matter how unreliable it is, it's still fun. So that's my point. But at the same time, that doesn't mean to say that, you know, I'll never go back to Japanese bikes. To be honest, most of the motorcycles I'll probably ever own or ride will be Japanese, just because they make some of the best. I mean, you wouldn't necessarily have said that 40 years ago, but in the last 20 years, especially, the Japanese brands have kind of become the dominant force in the motorcycle space, especially in terms of like popularity. You'll find more Japanese bikes around than you will do any European brand. So it's, I mean, again, I say that, it comes down to the type of bike that you buy. Like, if you enjoy riding adventure bikes, then you'll probably hang about in circles where you'll see more adventure bikes from BMW, you know? So again, it does kind of depend. Or if you're into more like dirt bikes, pit bikes, stuff like that, then you'll probably see a lot more KTM in there. So yeah, it does kind of swing in roundabouts, you guys, but the ride is the ride, and if you enjoy it, it doesn't matter what motorcycle you're riding. If it's putting a smile on your face, which most motorcycles have done, in fact, I say most, probably all motorcycles have had that effect on me. They've all put a smile on my face to some extent. Well, is it the bikes at that point, or is it the experience? I mean, the bikes provide the experience, but apart from maybe 125s, riding experiences for me have been just sublime. I mean, it's just the sense of freedom that you get, the wind hitting your face, the weather, you get to appreciate the scenery and that, rather than being cocooned in a box like all these shadows. You know, I actually get to appreciate the views, and I get to make the most of the roads. Maybe not in this particular instance, because we're riding in rush hour traffic. But even so, I'd prefer to be riding in rush hour traffic than driving in rush hour traffic, because I get to get around it most of the time. But it's just one of those things, you guys, that I can't really describe to you. I can describe as best as I can, but words will never fully describe the experience that I'm having right now and the joy that it brings me. The only way to know what I'm talking about, to understand what I'm talking about, is to do it yourself. And I'm not going to lie to you, as much as I find bikes easy to ride, when you're starting off, they're going to be so difficult. You're going to find them so hard to ride. But if you can stick with it, if you can get through that stage, you will seriously start to understand what this hobby is all about. And for a lot of people, they never look back. You know, it's one of those things that gets under your skin, and then after that, once you're a rider, you're always a rider. There's lots and lots of things personally about me that, you know, I would say to someone about my personality, you know, if I'm introducing myself to someone or what have you. But eventually the topic of motorcycles comes up, or maybe they hear me or see me riding a bike or something like that. And then all of a sudden, that's the person I am at that point. From that point onwards, I'm a motorcycle guy. I won't deny it, you know. I think riding to work, it's only been a handful of times that I've ever driven my car to get to work, you know. It really is just one of those personality traits that stick with you. And it's one of the things that you won't be able to shake off. You know, you might stop riding for a little while, maybe a year or 2 years, and you'll pick it back up again, and it will be like, once again, the greatest thing you've ever done. And I mean, at that point, if anything, your love for the hobby would just be even bigger than it ever was. You know, you have like an epiphany almost. I mean, that happened to me. That happened to me about, nearly 10 years ago now. I dread to think. But yeah, it probably was 10 years ago actually, when I gave it riding for the best part of a year. Picked it back up. I did the most riding in 1 year ever. That same year, I started looking at other bikes, and yeah, my passion, my love for it has just grown every year, you know. And the thing is, like, most riders who really enjoy riding would love to do what I do. Just ride bikes and shoot videos all day, every day, and just express the joy of the hobby and let it ooze, let it ooze out in the footage. But this isn't easy, you guys. You know, this isn't an easy thing to do. But riding the bikes when you're shooting the videos is the highlight. Is the highlight of the day. So, but yeah, that's why riders love riding so much. It's not necessarily the motorcycle; it's the ride itself. For some people, it's going to be the bike, you know, like they're enthusiasts and stuff like that, especially around like Blackbirds and that, where people are like they won't ride any other bike. And hang on, what's going on here? Yeah, and for them, their love for the hobby is all surrounding one single motorcycle that they've absolutely fell in love with, and that's fair enough. But that's not me, you guys. I don't really mind what motorcycle I'm riding, as long as it puts a smile on my face and everything's good. Yeah, absolutely love it. Absolutely love it, you guys. I mean, and when you start like adding in all the little stunts that you can do on bikes into the mix, it just adds a whole new level to the hobby that no one else on the road really has. You know, when you start picking up the front end of the bike and you start getting comfortable with being on one wheel, things like that, it just adds a whole new dimension to riding. And okay, fair enough, like there are lots of old school riders that hate that kind of stuff, and you know, they think it's stupid and all that, and that's fair enough, but that's the beauty of it. You don't have to ride like that. But for me, a person who has curiosity about well, nearly everything, to be honest, I'm always gonna try and explore it. There's quite a few aspects of motorcycle riding that I haven't experienced yet, and I really, really want to. And hopefully in the coming years I'll get an opportunity to do all of that stuff. And again, it just adds another dimension to the enjoyment factor of the bikes. It's something that I can't just brush off. Yeah, man, what a riding experience, you guys. Blimey, roadworks everywhere. I love it. I love it. And it makes me so happy. And if a hobby, it makes you happy, so happy that you feel euphoric after you've done it or after you've been out for a ride, puts a huge smile on your face, then that's a hobby to hold on to, you know. I'm going to be a bit cheeky here. I'm going to go down here. There we go. So you guys, that's another thing about bikes. You can be ultra cheeky and get away with it. Ultra cheeky. But, you know, you don't have to ride like that. That's just me. And everybody, thank you ever so much for joining us on this lovely ride out this morning. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope it's at least somewhat answered the question of what is it about motorcycles that makes their riders so happy. And there's so many different layers to this. I've just scratched the surface, okay? You guys in the comments, let me know what it is about motorcycle. If you can think of something specifically about bikes that really makes you happy, then drop it down in the comment section below. I'd love to hear it, and I'm sure that anyone looking to get into the hobby would want to know as well. I'm sure they'd be curious as well. But thanks again, everyone. Make sure to leave that like, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell down there so you don't miss any more from us. And we'll catch you all in the next video, everyone. Take care, ride safe, have a good one.